Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show, episode number 182. Now, as some of you have noted, you told me last week, hey, man, you said it was 180 and it was 181. That's right. I made a mistake and said last week's episode was 180. It was actually 181. And this episode right here that you're listening to was 182, just to be clear. And I'm going to call this one, Forget Red Flags, We Need Neon Lights. This episode is called Forget Red Flags, We Need Neon Lights. Because if you notice, when everybody talks about red flags, they're always talking about the red flags after you made the mistake, right? A lot of times, every time you see online, somebody, I was with this guy and there were so many red flags. Well, you didn't see the red flags until after he was gone, right? That's like not seeing the red light until after you got T-boned in the damn intersection. It doesn't do you any good at that point. Because there's red flags all the time, but we need neon lights sometimes. We need neon lights and use the red flags as markers afterward. It's that way with everything. Your jobs, right? There's red flags at the job, but sometimes you want the job so badly, you ignore the red flags. That's why we need neon lights. I remember working at a job. I was selling computer cartridges and crap like that. And everybody seemed to be doing this wonderful thing and wonderful job. And we got to tour the factory when they were trying to recruit us to work for the place. Oh, it was fantastic. We really were really enjoy. Oh, this place is the greatest. And when we were doing our sales pitch, we believed what we were saying. We believed what we were saying, right? And if you believe what you're saying, you're going to be a better salesperson. But little tiny things around the office, little tiny behaviors around the office were actually red flags, and too bad they weren't neon lights, right? A little lie here from the sales manager, a little lie there, a little corner cut here, a little corner cut there. And individually, you may think that maybe they're just trying to save a little money here, or maybe they made a mistake. But when you see it again and again and again and again, wait a second, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Went back into the warehouse when I wasn't getting the tour because we had the ability to go back there, but nobody wanted to waste their time back there. And I started talking to the people that actually made the product. And they had the same look on their face as a congressperson who's being indicted on something, trying to do a report, trying to do an interview on 60 Minutes or some other program to clear up their image, trying to do a preemptive strike on the image damage. They got the cigarette in the mouth. They're sweating. They're shady. Their eyes are dancing all over the place whenever you ask them a specific question. I went back to ask questions because I wanted to make my sales pitch even better. I figured I'd get a couple of little nuggets from back there with the people that make it. You know, this has double strength. I wanted to have all of that info. And no, it was not good. Every time I asked the question, the guy deflected. Oh, I got to go. And then I got my hands on one of the pieces of product and it seemed a little flimsy, but I didn't know anything about computers at the time. I didn't know. Maybe it's supposed to be this way. So I go to the store to buy, well, I didn't buy the competitor's product, but I went and looked at the competitor's product and I put my hands on it and it was really well made, sturdy, impressively so. And then I made a mental picture of what it felt like to touch the product that we were trying to sell to these people who were buying the computer products. And the one we sold, which was very similar in price, in comparison, was a piece of crap, right? You want to know what the difference? Think about Kellogg's cornflakes. You've all eaten Kellogg's cornflakes. Or think about a really good product in whatever country you're in. Think about a really good, substantial, quality-made product. Right? I'm going to go back to Kellogg's for the American audience because that's where I am right now. Kellogg's cornflakes. Now imagine the Kellogg's cornflakes. You shake it in the bowl. You're about to put the milk and the milk and the sugar on it and throw some fruit on it. Okay. Now imagine those Kellogg's cornflakes were replaced by pieces of cardboard that have been stepped on. Now imagine a bowl full of that. You still want to put the fruit on it, put the milk in it, put the sugar on it, get your spoon out and eat it for breakfast? Absolutely not. And that was the quality difference between the crap we were trying to sell to people and what a good product was. See, I'm convincing during a performance. If I'm playing a character, I can convince you that that character is real. If I was, when I took some acting classes, I was on stage, I could make you believe that character was a real guy. I would sound like him. I would look like him. The vocal inflections would be right. The body language would be right. You would think that guy was real. I can do that. But in real life, I can't. I'm not good at lying because I don't do it often and I don't like doing it. Anybody that knows me knows, no, S ain't gonna lie. So if anything, I'll find a diplomatic way to tell you the truth, but I can't deceive you. I can't do it. I'm horrible at it. So I went from being one of the best salespeople there in the top 3 all the way down. I was really good. So it's like, I was in the top 10, top 15 at this point because the enthusiasm, I couldn't fake the enthusiasm for the product because I now have seen it. Everybody else is, well, what the heck happened to him? And I didn't have the smile on my face because I thought I was selling some good product, some good computer cartridges back then and all that kind of crap. I thought it was great stuff. And I now know it's complete garbage. All the red flags were there. But the thing that shut me down and made me had to get up out of there was when the neon light showed up. But the neon light was actually seeing what we were selling and realizing I cannot get on this phone and lie to these people. I can't do it. So I had to get up out of there, found another job, had it lined up, left Friday from that place, got my first, and then started working at the other place on Monday. Could not do it. Could not see all the red flags, little corners cutting all the lies. But when the neon light came up, oh, I could see it. You have relationships like that. All these red flags waving in your face, flapping in the wind. So many red flags. It sounds like somebody's shaking out a blanket above your head. That's what I'm talking about. And I've been there too when I was much, much younger. Young S. Saw a lady that I really, really found ridiculously attractive. And sometimes you find a person that you think is cute and you wind up married to them and you get to know them as human beings. And even though there are other people that are better looking than them, there's something about that person that literally you need a mop to wipe the drool up, even though everyone else would say they're cute, but to you, they're the most delicious human being in the world. Because I'm a goofy looking bastard, but there's women that think I'm kind of cute. And if I'm around them for more than an hour, I'm telling you. Because I remember going to visit a girlfriend at her job. I was driving by and I thought I'd sneak in real quick and get her. I got like some flowers or something. I slid in there real quick, and I walked in and she gets excited and runs up to me and she goes, "That's the guy you're talking about?" And I overheard them talking. I go, "I mean, he's like, okay. I mean, he's really a nice guy." And it's like. And to keep in mind, this is younger me. I mean, like, if there's handsome, he's like at the beginning of handsome. Like, he's like handsome. Not like fine, but like just handsome. Like, wherever handsome starts, he's like one shade above that. And I mean, technically, I guess that's a compliment. that I was one shade, right? I was like, I was even back then, I was like, I'll take it, right? But, I don't understand why you flipping out about him. Now, once they met me, they got it, but at the time, right. But, so, that's the best I've ever been. Right. But there was a particular woman, though, that was not one shade above handsome like I was. This woman was devastating. And I wanted this woman for years. And she wouldn't give anybody the time of day, which is her right, because she just didn't feel like dealing with a bunch of idiots, right? And she kind of kept to herself. And she was the best looking human being at the time. I thought she was like the best looking human being that had ever walked the face of the earth. Like there was like, people go, I want to turn this way for my good angle. I don't want to show my bad side. She had no bad nothing. Okay. Bad nothing. Just devastating. Delicious. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Right. And I was like, you know what? This is probably going to be humiliating to me. But I really want to be with this woman. Now, keep in mind, I'm a young guy. I didn't know anything about her. I just knew what I saw, and I wanted to see her naked underneath me, if you understand what I'm saying, right? And I was just aching every time she walked in the room. I just couldn't even think straight. And I'm like, well, people are like, oh, this woman's a dime. This woman was not a dime. This woman was Fort Knox, okay? So I walk up to her, and I'm going, charm offensive. I got to hit it with the charm offensive. And I started talking to her. And at first she turns around and she's looking at me. She has no look on her face. And I'm talking to her and she smiles a little bit. Now, this is the first time I've seen a really big smile on her face. I'm like, she's already beyond perfect. Now she's 80 times more good looking, right? And now we're talking, ha, 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 ha. We're laughing. She's laughing. He, 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 he. She's like touching my chest. He, he, he. You know, when a lady laughs and she leans forward and touches your chest, ha, 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 ha. She's holding onto my arm and everything. Ha, 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 ha. I'm like, oh, is this going to happen here? I mean, I would have been happy 3 weeks ago with just this interaction. That's how badly I wanted this woman. And then she goes, what kind of phone is that? I go, what, this? She goes, yeah, let me see that. She takes this. Oh, could you open up? Because I want to get one of these. I go, oh, sure. So I open up the phone. Puts her number in it. Puts her number in the phone and her name. This is young me. Not super young me, but young me. Whew. And it's not the kind of phones that you have now where, you know, this is like the beginning, like them flip phone type grooves. You know what I mean? It's like, So she had to literally go you go A, B, C, C, Z, C. You had to type the numbers. You had to hit it like if you hit the letter A, B, C, which is on number 2, I think, you would have to hit it 3 times to get to the C. So she had to do that to type her name in. So this took some work. And then she puts my phone back in my pocket, and she kisses her hand and touches my mouth. Right? And she walks away. Give me a call. Right? I, of course, immediately went into the bathroom stall and licked my own lips for like an hour. Remnants of her fingers. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Okay, I didn't go into the bathroom stall and hide myself, but did I lick my lips after she rubbed up my lips? You're damn right. One quick lick. Okay, don't judge me. Shut up. So I pull up to her house the next day. I pick her up. Now she's not dressed and casually. She's dressed like I'm going on a date with a guy. So she's even more delicious. Yes. And now she's rubbing my leg. We're having a good time at the dinner place. Ooh. And she decides she doesn't want to go see the movie. She's, I really have to get up early. I'm thinking, she's getting rid of me. Oh, she's not getting rid of me. She's about to get me. So I take her back to her house and I'm hit the flasher. And she goes, are you coming in? And I go, yes. She goes, you should probably park your car. It's going to be there for a while. All right. Now, I'm not going to say what happened next 4 times in a row. But I'm not going to say it. I'm too much of a gentleman to say what happened 4 times in a row, back to back to back to back. And what have happened the 5th time. But I mean, she was like, I'm tired. It rhyme. I'm not going to say what it rhymes. I'm just going to say boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy. If you understand what I'm saying, right? And it was fantastic. Every time we saw each other, boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy. If you understand what I'm saying, And every time it was even better than the last time. Because I imagined what it would be like to boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy with her. And I imagined it being the best thing in the world. And I underestimated it by about infinity. All the time, this devastatingly gorgeous woman and I are boom, boom, jiggying each other's brains out. There's red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag. Couldn't hear the red flag because I was too busy remembering all the other stuff, right? I didn't see her looking at me with daggers when the waitress came over and asked me if she could help me with anything else. And I looked up and said, oh, no, we're okay. She's looking at me with daggers. I overlooked that. That 30 seconds of anger, flashing of anger. How dare you look at the person who's talking at you? She didn't say anything, but she gave me the look, right? I ignored that red flag. I ignored it. Watching a TV show I didn't want to watch because she wants to watch, and all of a sudden an attractive woman comes on the screen. not even attractive to me. Like you can see an attractive person, but they're not your cup of tea. And I don't really give a crap about anybody else because she's nude, sitting in my, well, she's not nude, she had a robe on, but she's sitting in my lap, and we had just boom, boom, jiggy, the boom, jiggy, jiggy. So I'm thinking the world is great. The woman comes on the screen that I'm not even close to interested in because I'm already plotting on boom, boom, jiggy, boom, jiggy, jigging her again. And she's looking at the same look she had at the restaurant. Can't believe you're looking at that woman on the show that you don't even want to watch, that you're only watching to keep me happy so you can boom, boom, jiggy, jig me. That's what's going on. Very, very jealous person. And you're thinking, well, she's only jealous of other women. She'll get over it when she gets a little more comfortable with you. No, she won't. Because I didn't call out the fact that she was jealous, I just kind of kept my mouth shut, hoping not to make her mad so I could, get some more boom, boom, jiggity, which means it emboldened her. And emboldened her. And she would get even angrier now, right? I'd get a little punch in the elbow, in the shoulder, right? But she was not the biggest human being in the world, so she punched me in the shoulder. It's like, it didn't hurt. But the intention of hurting me was there. Not injuring me, but causing some discomfort, which it kind of didn't, because please, right? Just kidding. That crap hurt. I'm not laughing at the fact that it hurt, but I'm just laughing at the fact that I tried to pretend that it didn't. Every once in a while, something would be put down a little too hard on a table, right? I would mention something and maybe a female had something to do with it. Yeah, we were at the restaurant. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe I'm trying to get these guys to tip, man. They wouldn't even tip that lady that much. What lady? Oh, geez, here we go. And now she's slamming pots down and all of that crap, right? First of all, the lady was 68 years old, right? And none of us was interested in her, and she was gay. But why let the facts get in the way, right? And it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, I'm not putting up with this. And then she goes, I'm going up. I don't want to talk to you right now. And I'm like, I can't put up with this. And then she'd come back down. I'd hear the shower going first. I'm going, she's probably going to go to bed. It's probably a good time for me to leave. And then I'd hear some music playing. And then she'd come down to apologize with her robe open. And I forgave her real quick. And then I did something that I didn't do real quick. I took my time on that. You get it? And there were many, many more red flags, not of that severity, but little tiny ones over the course of time. But because younger me wanted the boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy, I ignored it. Until one day she went a little bit too far. I don't want to get into details, but you kind of get the idea, right? And I looked at her like she was out of her daggone mind. And at that moment, even though she now had popped her robe open to try to placate me, I didn't like what I saw. And 4 seconds earlier, if she'd have popped that robe open, I would have said, I forgive pretty much anything you say or do. But this time she went way too far, way too far. She popped the robe. And there was a part of me that's like, look, you have now made the decision that it's over. You're never going to talk to her again. You're going to end it. But why not have a little bit more of her deliciousness? Why not take her upstairs and wear her sweet bottom out and tear that bedroom up and just get it very good, deep business, so good she thinks it's Christmas, and then leave in the morning, right? But I'm not a liar like that. I can't, physically I could have taken her upstairs and given her that good, deep business that she's been, getting for a while now. But I don't want to do that, because at that point I would be lying. I would literally not be enjoying her because I cared about her. I would just be using her, and she would, all those red flags were flapping. Did not see him. And then the neon light of that last action that she took that made me turn the switch off to my emotions to her. She did that one thing. She went a step too far. And all of a sudden, the neon light was there and not just the red flags. Sometimes we do need that neon light. Now, the good thing about becoming an older human being is all of a sudden you can see red flags from so far away that the neon light is sitting in a box somewhere. It doesn't even have to come out sometimes. You don't even need to turn it on. Sometimes it's been unused for so long, maybe even decades, that sometimes you got to take it out of the box and flick it on and off just to see if it's still available when you need it. But after a certain age, if you're paying attention, you don't really need it. I don't need the neon light anymore. I see the red flags. So what I'm going to say to you is keep your eyes open for the red flags. I saw red flags at that job. I found out I could see the little lies that they were telling, and I should have said, I can't deal with this. I should have immediately started looking for another job, get the other job secured, and move on out of there so it doesn't affect me when my rent or anything like that. But then again, I had savings, so I would have been cool. But you know what I'm saying, right? And when all those red flags were happening, as much as I wanted to lay that woman down and give her that good, deep business so good she thought it was Christmas, I should have said no, because if I give her this good, deep business, as bad as I want this woman, and I see these red flags, if I give her that good, deep business, I'm going to want to keep giving her that good, deep business, and I don't want to keep giving her that good, deep business because I don't want to be in that business. If we pay attention to red flags, actual red flags, and get out of Dodge, it always works out better for us. As soon as she started shooting me those daggers when I did nothing more than casually look up and tell the waitress we didn't need any more water or whatever innocuous thing it was, I should have known I'm out of here. Man, I want to lay her down, but I don't want to have to deal with the crap that's going to come with it. Because when I think about it as a man, I've been with a few women. I'm not some guy who just jumps on top of any woman. I'm a middle-aged guy. I've been with a few women, right? And I got news for you. Every single one of them felt like heaven on earth. All of them. Every single one of them. Obviously, it felt better the more I cared about the person. It felt better. But every single woman I ever laid down with on a scale of 1 to 10 was a 12.8 minimum. And the ones I was head over heels in love with were infinity plus 6. You understand? So it's always gonna be great because they're women. So you got to use something other than what you do in the bedroom as a decision to make the decision on whether that's somebody you want to be with. Yeah, they look good, but so what? No matter how good somebody looks, you're going to get used to that. Trust me. I know dudes that have dated not supermodels, but models and all that kind of crap. And they only dated them because they wanted them physically. And they realized they weren't compatible, but they just wanted to jump on top of them because they looked like that. And they got used to them. If you were a millionaire and you were broke at one point and all of a sudden you got $50 million in the bank in the beginning, oh, I got 50 million. And 2 years later, you get used to being a millionaire. And you realize I got 50 million in the bank and I'm just sitting in the house all day. I still want to do something. I don't have to do something, but I want to do something. I can't just sit here and do nothing because you get used to the money. Look for the red flags in all aspects, including your friends. I'll keep it short when the friends, because this podcast is going to be ending soon, but I had a couple of friends back in the day and they got into fights all the time. And I was never really around for the reason that they were fighting. I was just defending my friend. And after a while, you start realizing, wait a second. Everywhere this guy goes, he gets into trouble and I have to get in there and whoop somebody's behind or keep him from getting whooped up every time. How come none of my other friends are like that? Just this guy or just this guy. There's two guys that are always fighting. Everybody else not fighting. These other people go to the same place they go to. I go to the same place this guy goes to. Nobody wants to kick my behind. I walk in there all yelling, "It's Anthony, hey!" And my other friends walk in, "Bill Thompson." They say their names happily. This guy walks in, wah, 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 wah. They can't stand his punk behind. Why? Because he stinks. Red flag. In fact, immediate neon light. So what I'm saying, my friends, is notice the red flag before the neon light shows up, okay? Be safe out there. All right, now this episode is over. And I want to thank you guys for listening. I'm Mr. S. Anthony Thomas, or S. Anthony Thomas, however you want to call it. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show. Follow me on, just Google me, dagnabbit. All my stuff's there. I've been online. I got 2 podcasts. This is my second podcast. The first podcast is called S. Anthony Says. So just Google me, check out both podcasts, subscribe to both podcasts, or pick one of them and subscribe. It's up to you. Listen to both of them, dagnabbit. Okay. I'm on YouTube, Mr. S. Anthony Thomas. I'm on TikTok, Mr. S. Anthony Thomas. Follow both of those. I would appreciate it. More than anything, I appreciate the fact that you listen to me today and that you listen to me every week. Much love to you all. Subscribe if you haven't. Spread the word about this podcast so other people can hear it. And I will see you amazing humans next week. Take care.